Well, that's
Hey,
just peachy.
yeah. Thanks for starting the episode off that way, Peter.
You're welcome. I'm glad that we've been recording. Well, you've been streaming my rant on Bright.
Ralph doesn't care. He's just a whore for
Well,
followers.
it's just content.
Well, the thing is,
Exactly.
I post the link to the D&D 5 group,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes a while for them to approve it. So I just leave it up, and then eventually, by the time it's like time to record, like the guy will approve it and actually, whore me out.
Yeah, you're essentially just Twitch TMZ.
Twitch TMZ. All right, Benny, if you
All
can
right.
give us a recap of what happened because some shit went down.
All right. So previously on, I wish there was background music where you can have like passage of time or some sort of like Game of Thrones, like previously on Game of Thrones. Yeah, then we need a very long intro, like an intro that goes way too long, and people just start unsubscribing as the intro's going. Because at that
they start thumbing it down and
yeah, exactly. Downvote. So, all right, previously on You're Getting Railroaded, um, our heroes undertook what seemed to be a simple fetch quest and embarked on an unsolicited tour of the far reaches. Their patron, asking for components to undo whatever magic, transformed him into the beastly creature he was. I wrote this shit down. I don't know why. They were cast into what can only be assumed as outer space to find out what should be the final component. This is actually the stuff that you missed, Peter, for the most part. They hurtled towards their destination, which ended up being a strangely shaped spacefaring boat, doing battle with another equally strangely shaped vessel. As the adventurers skulked about the ship, trying to find the object, the Nautiloid ship seemed to gain the advantage over the dragon-shaped ship. With victory at hand, the motley Githyanki Lizardmen crew began boarding procedures. But little did they know that they would be set upon by another danger from outer space.
Love it.
A hammerhead shark-shaped boat hurtled through the dark, covered in the remains of what you assume are its defeated, hapless victims. It smashes straight into the Nautiloid ship, embedding itself broadsides into the starboard side hull. And out poured the Knoll Reavers, ravenous, savage. They unload themselves onto the deck and the lower quarters. The brave adventurers venture top deck, while John and Krzysztof leave the party further aft of the ship. With one well-timed spell, Maven sends a Knoll leader flying helplessly into the cold void of space. And that was basically what had happened for the most part, what had happened. And so, meanwhile, a curious turn brings Peter into the fray as a visit back home turns into a search for his brother, as well as a search for the mysterious person who seems to be Raphael as well. Two
Shit.
Raphaels?
Oh my
This
god.
multiverse isn't big enough. All right, so that's pretty much how it is. If Peter and Raphael remember, they were hurtling towards space. They smashed through the top part of the ship that sort of has an overhang. And for the most part, one reason this isn't, and it wasn't noticed the first time so much either, and this is something just to sort of catch up into what the other guys are doing. There's just some, once in a while, there'll be a flying rock, passing by the ship, and once in a while, it'll take one of the crew members. So far, Owler has avoided uh, such problems while he sits on the mast. But we we continue. This is where we begin again. We'll start with the sort of action on the deck. And so there's a great battle sort of going on right now. There are a bunch of gnolls, all sorts of, all types of gnolls just overrunning the ship to a certain degree. And the skilled Githyanki crew has been holding them off. They're seasoned pirates for the most part. And there are some lizard men strewn about the crew, and they've been fighting off the gnolls. And this is all the stuff that Maven and I'm gonna say dark pants Raphael. I've been seeing
Dark pants.
dark pants Raphael. And actually,
Benny.
so yeah, so so with all the gnolls running about, streaming off of this ship that just sort of crashed right into the side of the ship. Um, there is the Githyanki captain who is engaged with the gnoll, what you assume the gnoll captain was, and Maven shot a very specifically timed and aimed spell which caught the gnoll captain and actually blew him off of the ship completely. And so off he goes into the this, and somebody.
What's with all that like clutter? Is that someone moving around too much?
It's all Peter. It's always alt Peter. Disadvantage for the rest of the session, alt Peter.
I'm not doing anything.
Dude, totally can
sounds,
hear you.
I don't know. Sounds like a mic is moving, maybe. Or maybe there's dice or some adjustment. I'm trying to catch whoever it is right now.
Yeah, I was
Leaky
afraid,
help you.
I was afraid it was me, but I'm like, I'm not even moving.
That's right, all of you stay silent, stay still. So anyway, there's the gnolls and the fucking Githyanki, and they're fighting, and it's fucking pirates up the wazoo. And so as the gnolls see their sort of fearless leader take it right in the chest and fly off the side of the ship, they sort of howl and yelp in fury. And so now they're, attacking with a little bit more ferocity. And so in this case, after you cast your spell, Maven, we'll say that because we ended the session right as you were casting your spell, what was it that you planned to do? And in the meantime, while you discuss that, I would like initiative rolls from Light Pants Ralph and Peter.
Okay.
Just so we can slot you into this. I already have an initiative from the last time.
Great. 8.
Nice. What the
Wait.
fuck is a 37?
Oops, I forgot to keep highest one. 21.
21. All right, so Light Pants Ralph with a fucking 37 initiative.
That's some Krzysztof shit in Pathfinder, man.
Yeah, I had to have a conversation with John about how Ralph used to roleplay his characters until Valen broke him, and now he can't even put a personality behind any character. They're just all trying to make the best build.
They're too busy getting swole, is what it is.
Well, they're too
Not
busy
enough time to
trying.
develop character.
Well, they're too busy trying to get swole because the only character who has been impressive was a level like 15 character.
Hey,
The Sorkadin.
hey, man, you did good.
Yeah, no, he did really good. But okay, go on, Benny. Sorry.
No, that's all right. So Light Pants Raphael actually got the highest initiative disorders. You get to slot in after sooner. So Maven, what was your plan after shooting the Gnoll captain off the ship?
What? So it's my turn?
Yeah, you could say like because you cast that spell, but you didn't move or anything. I just wanted to know what you plan to do after that.
Well, I'm holding my position. That's my action. So
Okay.
like that would be the end of my turn. I will does the Githyanki captain look at me when he sees me shoot the gnoll off the bridge?
So when the second you do that, yeah, since he was engaged in the battle with the gnoll, he does turn to look around, and he tries to see like what the hell could have caused that. He knows most of his guys are not pure spellcasters of any sort, so that's had to be some sort of magic.
Mhm.
And he does, he, as he looks around, he locks eyes with you, and he's curious.
So
But he's sort of far enough that he's not that close to you, but I believe he was within 30 feet, right?
all right. So if he sees me, what I'm going to do is like I have my hand out from where I'm concentrating on the spell. So if he sees me, I'm going to kind of nod my head in his direction and salute with the other hand and smile at him. And then
All right. So,
concentrating on my spell.
okay. Well, at that point, your spell already blew the gnoll off of the ship, right? So if you needed
Right.
to concentrate, technically, it's gonna break real soon, right? He's
No, I
going
still have
away.
to because I can continue. I can redirect that stream of air on my next round if I'm concentrating.
Perfect. I understand now. All right. So, you know, when he sees you, and then he also sees the Dark Pants Raphael's there. He has a mixture of confusion, and you know he's actually still fending off attacks as he's looking, and he yells out, you know, groundlings, and he sort of points at you, but like, who brought the groundlings? And because at this point, from his perspective, he's got a deck full of gnolls, and all of a sudden there's some strange human casting spells on a ship. So you know all that chaos is still going. It is Dark Pants' turn in that case. What do you do?
So
You've been sort of made. You've been spotted.
so I'm playing myself and myself, right?
Yes. Yeah. Right now, like. Let's say Light Pants Raphael. This is not his turn, so you don't need. And those, like, you are not aware of each other at all.
Okay. Wow, the worlds are merging, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess
I mean, just for the sake of game, right? Is because we're gonna play it out, but for the sake of game, you are you, for all intents and purposes. So, yeah, just do it. Whatever.
I am me.
Yeah, you're the.
But who are you?
You that was in the previous game, not this previous game. The actual, you know, that landed on the ship the first time.
Is that main Ralph? Is that prime Ralph?
It's Dark Pants Ralph. That's the only way we. I think that's the only differentiator we gave them.
Yeah, one head light, one head Brad.
Well, also different armor.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, technically, you have different armor. You wouldn't know that so much yet, but you will.
It's technically the same armor, just has a +1, so it looks the same.
It's nicer.
It's
All right.
cleaner. We're gonna say it's cleaner.
DM. I'm the one that put it on that fucking Orog, and I know what it looks like, asshole. It's fucking nicer.
It's nicer. Got it. Okay, so I guess how many are in front of me?
There is an entire. Honestly, if you want numbers, you came to the wrong game. This is an entire. This is an entire ship.
Yeah, it's a militia.
Yeah, it's like, so think of a ship that has unloaded a ship onto a ship that already had crewmen that were ready to board another ship that now is floating off in the distance.
From a ship.
Yes.
This.
So there's no.
Like, so think of it as pockets of battle going on here and there, right? So you've got, right now, you're not engaged. Nothing has attacked you yet. You get the feeling like it's only a matter of time before you might get engaged in one of these little battles here and there with whoever it might be. But right now, you're not engaged with anything. But, I mean, you're talking like 10 feet away from you. There is a lizard man that's trying to fight. He's got his scimitar. He's fighting with one of these gnolls. You know, another 10 feet away from you at a different vector, you've got a 2-on-1 situation going on with two withered-looking gnolls. They look very strange. You know, they're fighting.
Are we friendly with the gnolls?
So you're saying you don't remember? Yeah. So right now, you don't know who you're friendly with. You're only friendly with the people you came with, probably.
Yeah.
So, you know, we don't know where the lines of battle are drawn in reality. Maven's trying to be diplomatic here by giving winks and thumbs up and stuff, but you know.
Maven hasn't attacked anyone, has he?
I attacked gnolls.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I should be attacking a gnoll too.
Yeah, and actually, if you remember, you were stuck down there and you got poked in the butt with a gnoll sword.
With a what?
A gnoll stick sword. Like, remember, you got sort of stuck while you were trying to help Maven get through this little crack through the ships. and
Yeah,
you
it
couldn't.
could do a prostate exam.
Yeah,
I don't like prostate exams. I'm not old enough for that yet.
yeah.
Okay, well, fuck. I don't want to get involved if I don't have to, but I guess.
Yeah.
If
Well, yeah, it's whatever choice you've got. You were a soldier, man.
yeah, but like, who paid me?
That's right.
No one's paid me. No one's actively sought for my help.
Well, that's not
There's
necessarily.
Ralph.
We're going down the Ralph rabbit hole. So you technically have been offered to be paid to retrieve an item. You're basically in the process of working so that the payment part can come in.
Okay, how about this? How about I just set up a reaction?
Okay.
So if any of the lizard or the gnolls come at me threateningly and happen to charge at me or anything like that and happen to get within my bubble, like my personal space, I'm gonna shoot him. That's my prepared action.
I like the sound of that. Now, just so I don't know the rules so much of it. When you take a reaction, you only get to attack the once, or you're saying you want to take your whole action, which would be the attack.
I wanted to prepare an action. Is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're preparing an action, it's just that action that you prepare, like whatever sets it off. So, like, say he's like, if someone comes at me, I'm gonna attack them. He doesn't just get to unload and do all of his like 37 attacks. It's just, oh no, reaction.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to sort of say, because I know that to trigger his extra attacks, he has to take the attack action. So I just wanted to know, but see that philosophically, again, we're going down the Ralph rabbit hole here.
Yeah, if you ready an action, you only get that action. You don't get your full action as if you were acting on your own turn.
It's fine with me.
All right, so cool. So you're gonna ready your action. You're on your hyper aware mode. Head on a swivel. Shit goes down. You're gonna be ready.
That's it.
All right. So what we're going to have here is some attacks, because it's going to happen. So what you see is, oh good. So what you see is off to the side. Remember those two witherlings that I was talking about? They're really weird looking gnolls that sort of are all messed up, and you're not entirely sure whether they should be alive. They're missing parts of their ribs and stuff, parts of their face. Well, those two guys dispatch one of these Githyanki, right? So they sort of team up on him, and they stab him with. One has a club, and one has a really just a shard of metal with tape on it. And so they'll disengage, and they will come to attack you. And what happens when they attack? Take a look.
Attack who? Me?
No, they're going to attack Rafael. So when they go to attack you, I guess you're able to make your attack. So let's see what happens. You have two gnolls coming at you. Rafael.
Does a
Well,
19
that's a
hit?
19. That's definitely going to hit. So let's see what the damage is. All right, 7 damage. All right, very good. So you take your shot, catch one of them square in the shoulder.
Get out of my face!
That's right. Your bolt sort of sticks there, and then that one goes to attack you still, because it's still up. It's not looking very good, but it didn't look very good, beforehand. So it goes to attack you, and I'm assuming a 7 doesn't hit you.
No, it does not.
That is the one with the club, and he goes to take a swipe at you with the club, and you duck out of the way there. But the other one rolls a 19, and remember, this is Dark Pants Ralph.
Dark pants, so
I know there's a
19
difference
would
now.
hit.
A 19 will hit. All right, so what we got here is, all right, so you get 7 damage your way as he takes his sword piece, just metal broken off to look like it's sharp. It sort of stabs at you and gets you right there in the side of the rib. And so that happened, right? And so the next gnolls that still continue to attack, there is one gnoll that is in battle with another with the lizard man, right? And this was the other one that was near Ralph. He goes and he takes a final attack and kills that lizard man. And in this case, they choose Maven to hit, and they are going to. And you don't have any. You do have reactions probably, right? Like you might have shields.
Yeah,
But they roll it.
You also have to roll with disadvantage because of my cloak placement.
Oh, okay. Very good to know. So either way, oh, nice. So this one rolls. This one goes to attack, and it looks hungry, very hungry. This is not one of the waste things. This looks like a more fleshy, more full-bodied gnoll, and sort of growls, and it's got sort of a bloodlust after killing the lizard man that it was fighting, lizard man crew, and it goes to attack you, and when it does, it seems to overcompensate for its footing, or something happens that it's not entirely sure. You're pretty sure it has something to do with your magical items. Maybe some, your cloak hasn't failed you before, and so in this case, it seems to overcompensate where it seemed like it was sure before, and when it does, it sort of trips on itself and it falls down, and now it's face flat, face down, pretty much right in front of you, and that's where it is right now. And so for the most part, the rest of the Knowles and Yankee crew, their shirts and skins, they're fighting each other. And so it is. We'll go back to Maven's turn.
Okay. Is there any?
Actually, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No. I was just also going to describe. There was something, I think. This is just more for thing. But if you remember, there was a really strange creature that had it was like sort of floating, and it had like really strange like a look to it, but it also had an eye patch.
A beholder?
And that, yeah, no, it was. Let me see if I.
A plump.
Let's see. The alpha. Okay. Come on. All right. So this guy here. So he, takes his turn and seems to be doing pretty well against the attacks that are coming in. But you see that off in the distance. That's much closer to the bow of the ship, where, it seems to be fighting off quite a few. He's got a few Get Yankee on his side as well. And so that guy takes his turn. And so it is your turn again, Nathan.
Okay. So you said that the guy at my feet is prone, correct?
He is prone. It's face down.
Damn it, everything I have requires concentration. Okay, so are there any gnolls that are still around or near the edge of the ship?
Sure, there are a few. There are a few engaged. Let's say there are at least 3 within, 30 feet of you. Further off, there's obviously going to be a little bit more, but yeah, there's at least 3 different engagements that are occurring right now, one-on-ones that
are conveniently arranged in a line.
I wouldn't say they're arranged in a line, though. So you're saying like in one, like lined up between you and then the edge of the ship?
Right.
I would say there's really you can only pick them off one by one.
Okay, I want to pick off the one that's closest to the edge. Is the captain, the Githyanki captain, engaged with the Knoll again?
Yeah, in this case, he's now engaged with quite a few Knolls, but he's also got a few Githyanki next to him, and so he's not overrun or anything like that. He seems pretty capable, but he's definitely engaged with someone.
Okay, and they're all close to the edge, correct? Or have they moved away?
Wait, hold on. Sorry, my headphones just went out again. I think somebody turned on the microwave. That's what happened. All right, what did you say just now?
And they're that grouping of people is all close to the edge, correct?
Yeah, they're close to the edge, and they're about to break.
So I will I will use my bonus action to redirect my gust of wind.
Okay.
To hit one of the gnolls that they are engaged with.
All right, cool. So
that requires a strength saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
against, yeah.
My bonus doesn't make a difference. They rolled a 2. So I'm pretty sure that fails whatever.
Yeah, mine's a 16. So.
All right, cool. All right, so
they get knocked back 15 feet.
Okay, cool. So here's the thing. That's the gust of wind says it's 10 feet wide, right?
No,
now, do you want to aim it?
Really? Maybe I was misreading it. I thought it was in a line specifically. I didn't realize it was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could try to aim it so that it catches the edge, right? I mean, you're a wizard. You're pretty accomplished. I would imagine that's something you can do. So let's just say that happens. I'm gonna roll to see a percentage of whether it catches anyone else, right? So high or low?
High.
Okay, so you cast this. You sort of move your gust of wind. You reconcentrate and try to hit this knoll that's engaged with another Githyanki, and the spell definitely takes the knoll out, but it also seems to catch the Githyanki as well. Now, what was the DC again for that?
16.
I'm sorry?
16.
Oh, perfect. So you could tell his clothes are definitely affected by the spell, and you assume that it probably did hit him, but he seems to hold against the wind, and he stays sort of fortunate that he didn't get thrown off of the boat. And give me 1 second here. No, he doesn't notice. So he doesn't notice you. He sort of looks around and tries to figure out what's going on, but he doesn't seem to notice where that came from or why something was trying to blow him off. They're not used to this kind of wind out here in outer space. So now it is.
I'm not done.
Oh yeah, that was your bonus. No, that was your bonus to redirect, right?
The bonus to redirect, and then I will cast it by myself.
Okay, hold on. So I just want to see that it's an action. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. So you don't even have to use a full action to redirect that spell. It just says you just redirect it as a bonus action. That's perfect. Good. So you cast what? Mirror image?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So describe mirror image for us.
So I wrap myself in an eldritch power, and how many duplicates do I get? And basically, the image of myself expands into 3 others of me, all different colors.
Okay. And so I'm looking at some stuff here where they have their own AC apparently, and you have 3 duplicates, and then you have different. I see a few things there. So just try to keep in mind if I ever do attack you, get the stuff going on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So if that is the end of your turn, it is Dark Pants Ralph.
Okay, so the one that attacked me and decided to provoke me is going to incur my wrath.
Well, no, because no one attacked Light Pants. Wait, this is Dark Pants Ralph again?
Dark Pants Ralph, yeah. Light Pants Ralph and Peter, but it's a different scene, so to speak. So we're going to go to that.
Okay.
Yeah. I made you roll the initiative, but it's for just in case.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, I'm gonna do my volley.
All right. That sounds super amazing, and I'm going to let you roll for it.
Oh, I thought you were fucking with me, Benny.
Yeah. Are you also going to have to do Owler's turn too, right? I'm assuming Owler's still around.
I don't actually. I haven't summoned him with Dark Pants.
You did summon him with Dark Pants.
You sure?
Did.
Yeah.
Oh. Well
You
then.
didn't have him with Light Pants.
Yeah, Light Pants just got there. Light Pants has its own thing going on. But right now it's all Dark Pants Ralph. This is Dark Pants Ralph that had the owl,
So when has he? Where is he in the turn initiative then?
Light Pants Ralph?
No, Owler.
Owler, I'm gonna say, because I don't have it listed here anymore, I'll just say he's on your initiative.
So I'll have him go first. Is that okay?
Sure, if you want, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna have him do the annoy the fuck out of enemy attack.
Okay. All right.
So
And
the
you-
fly,
Which
The-
one is it gonna
the
annoy?
one in front of me, then.
The one that you hit already?
Yeah, and the one who
All
came
right.
at me.
Very good. Came at you, bro. So now you get advantage on the attack or whatever it is that you do.
Yeah.
And may do so at your leisure.
This is 17 hit.
That definitely hits. May dispense with the pleasantries.
First attack.
So with that first attack, you smash its face with the bolt sort of going through, and there's an effect like when you have a magnum and the hole that it enters is
Oh my
small,
God.
but when it exits the back of its face, its head explodes out backwards, and it just plops down, dies immediately in front of you. You still have another one, and I don't know how that works, but yeah, there's still another one, and
How
the
far
other one
is
that's
he?
attacking Nate. Those were basically close up to you. They were on their way, closing distance. And
Are they
did
within
make
30
attacks, so
feet?
they're within 5. They're in melee range. They swung at you. Well,
Okay, so
this one did.
the closest one, if they're all the same distance, DM's choice, but I'm gonna attack one.
We'll just say it's the one that attacked you, because you had 2 guys attack you and you just killed one. So
Okay. 17
that's
hit.
gonna hit. Yeah, look, I don't even have to look at the sheet. You definitely hit.
Aw.
Oh, all right. So
And then bonus action.
okay.
Does 14 hit?
14 does hit. Yes.
5.
Alrighty, so you shoot it twice, and you catch it at different parts of the body. It's still up, but it's not looking good. And again, he didn't look good in the first place. This is one of those wastelings. Yeah, and that's it. Do you want to move or anything like that?
Nope.
Alrighty. So it is another round of things happen. The fight going back and forth with all the different characters involved. And luckily, you both avoid any extra attention for now. But as it comes back around, again, you see the captain doing his thing, you see the flump doing his thing, and you may go now, Maven.
Okay. Is there a 10-foot section of enemies that is not the null captain?
Well, there's definitely a 10-foot section where you could just pick anything out. You have your pick of the litter, so to speak, no pun intended.
Mhm.
But at the same time, keep in mind the gnolls are engaged with crew members of this ship.
Sure, why not? So I'll
Yeah.
aim for the largest group of gnolls in a 10
Alrighty. All right, cool. So,
that are near the edge.
okay, all right. So if it's a 10-foot, yeah. So, the ones that are near the edge, there's at least like about 6 different bodies that may or may not be corpses soon. But and it's a mix, right? So you've got about 4 gnolls and 3 Githyanki. 2 Githyanki and 4 gnolls. And so in that little 10-foot square, that's sort of the max, let's say, that you can get in there. Is a sphere or a square? Not that.
It's a column.
Oh, it's 10 feet wide?
It's a 10 feet wide, 60 feet long.
Oh, so all right, so disregard. So in this case, if you're basically you just got a big giant like Kamehameha going on, right? So in that path, you're gonna have a lot. Maybe not all of them are by the rails, right? So you're definitely gonna have some that are sort of within 10 feet of you that are not near the rails, but they are, they are gonna get caught up in whatever this blast is.
I mean that's fine. The largest group of gnolls that's near the rail. That's where I'm going to aim it.
Sure, yeah. So you're gonna get about. Well, we have to see what rolls. because this is gonna be the same gust of wind, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna roll here real quick. All right. Ooh. Oh wow. Okay, so you pick a big old cluster there, and there were basically 8 people inside of this column, and 2 of them were for sure at the edge of. So if they get touched at all, they're going down, right? But 3 of them out of the 8 did make a save, so they seem to hold against this blast of wind that comes out of nowhere, and so you basically got 2 Githyanki and 1 Knoll that saved, but you end up with 5 other characters that get blown back, right? So it's what is it, 10 feet back?
I think it's 15. I'll double check.
All right. So if it's 15 for sure,
Feet
yeah. So three gnolls get blown back right off the ship, right? So they go hand over hand, and I'm gonna make one of these guys roll a reflex to try to grab a railing, and they do not. And so they go end over end, flying right off the ship, tripped over whatever the railings and the things supporting the edge of the ship are. And so those are those 3, and then you had 5 others that were, I should say, there were 8 total, and 3 of them saved, right? So 3 go flown right back, and you've got 1 of each. So 1 Githyanki, 1 Null, that sort of stay against Actually, I should say they do get hit and they get blown back, but they hit up right against the railing, right?
Okay.
So they sort of just slide right up against it. So now they're at the edge, but they
Ooh, the Knolls or the Githyanki?
both. So there's a Knoll and a Githyanki.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a new buddy cop that I'm writing. So this gust of wind, just to remember how much damage we're looking at if they took any damage. Do they take any, or is it they just get blown back?
There's no damage. It's just a blowback.
All right, cool. So
and then I will use my action to one of the Githyanki is near the edge, correct?
yes, now there's a Githyanki near the edge as well as a Knoll. They're not engaged,
No,
but
no.
they're
Focusing on the.
people.
So there's a Knoll near the edge, correct?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so I will cast Chill Touch on him.
Ooh, so you're gonna go to? That's a ranged touch.
It's a ranged spell,
Mm-hmm.
and basically
And the hand comes out, right?
a hand appears and touches them.
Okay. So show me what you got. I have to roll against this?
No. I roll. It's an attack roll.
Yeah. I'm so happy we don't have to deal with flat-footed and all that stuff. Like, oh, are they called flat-footed now? Now their AC is 8. Okay, so what'd you get here? You got a 10. All right, so as you cast the spell, that sort of spectral hand comes out, and it goes to grasp at the Knoll that's right at the edge there, but it seems to pass through him. It doesn't grab the Knoll, as if its own etherealness was too much for itself, or whatever. Just it doesn't seem to grab the Knoll.
Okay.
But yeah. Alrighty, so that was Maven's turn. All right, and Rafael, you get a turn.
Okay, so
It's Owler's turn technically, if you want.
Gotcha. So how many are actually surrounding me?
Right now, you only have the one. There is one that I believe, and actually I screwed that up, but there's one that's still face down in front of Maeve.
Gotcha. All right.
Well,
so
in fact, no. You know what? I'll retcon that and say that got caught up in the gust of blast, because it would have been right in front of me.
All right. So
it's not engaged. Go ahead.
So there's one in front of me. That's the one I'll send Owler to bother.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take my attack.
You do it. Fucking do it. Are you a bad enough dude?
We'll find out. 20 total.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna hit. And if your bonus is a 2 at least, You shouldn't bother doing damage. You can roll it just because it's fun to roll. But yeah.
17.
So when you say plus 12.
It's sharpshooter. That's why it's +2.
Yeah. So again, you are now. This is getting out of hand, and now we're in NC-17. We're gonna have to go to the board and try to get under an R rating again. The bolt, this crossbow bolt is worse than the other. You barely even see the bolt pass through the triangle of this Noel's skull before you see the skull completely explode, and there's just you can see through the eyes at this point. The entire skull is blown backward, and it too falls by the wayside.
As he should.
Yeah, to Clint Eastwood over here, just one-shotting these guys. Well, not really, but okay. And so yeah, that one's dead, right? So now you've got either you pick glitter, anything around, you can just sort of take pot shots.
Anything within 30 feet of me?
There's a bunch. Like it's just your choice of what you want to shoot. There's a bunch of Knoll Wastelings. There's a bunch of Knolls, that are more filled out. You've got some Yankee crewmen. You've got some lizard men. They're all fighting each other. They haven't quite sort of picked you guys out yet in this short amount of time.
How far is Peter from me?
He is, if I remember correctly, Peter didn't move yet. So you guys are pretty much, I'm going to say around 10 feet away from each other. Because you guys came up and out of that ladder area around the same time. But Peter did sort of position to cast a spell here and there. And so you coming out last.
Okay, so I'm actually going to move in front of him as a way to provide cover for him.
Already?
And is there anyone directly in front of him?
No, not directly in front, no. Maybe about 15 feet.
Oh, if there's someone within 15 feet, I'll shoot that guy then. With my next action.
So,
with my next attack.
But you do have a knoll that was sort of blown, and it's up against the railings.
You say he's blown against the railings?
Yeah, he was blown by a gust of wind.
And he's by the railings. Is he perched over the railings like he's going to throw up?
No, these guys were like sort of blown back, and they used the railing to hold on. So they're in front of the railing. Like if this was like, a situation where you could just push them, because you were mean, you could try to push them, and they would fall over the ship.
No, I think I'm just gonna shoot him in the butt.
You can't do that. I would suggest it.
I wish I was a champion fighter because I've been critting so much.
Vengeance. Yeah, so, this is probably the one that gave you that little proctology exam. And so with 4, all right, it's nice. But that is not,
bonus
doesn't
action.
do a lot to it. It's got, it's a little meatier, this guy, and it's sort of like, you could see the crossbow bolt goes in. It doesn't bother him as much.
Well, maybe the next one will bother him.
Maybe the next one will bother him.
Probably not.
Let's actually no. So in that case, that crossbow bolt looks real close. And you think you're sure this is going to be like a neck shot. You're going to get like some jugular action going on, but the bolt goes right into the wood behind him where the railing is, and sort of sticks right in with a twang.
It's okay. You know what? Baseball players only have to be good a third of the time to be like amazing.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know if that works in D&D so much, but we'll go with it. We'll go. All right, so as all this stuff is going on, I would like the both of you to roll some dexterity saves, please. Jesus Christ.
21.
You guys. All right.
Today's a good day for rolls. Last session was not so good.
Yeah. All right. So, so that's good. And I would like an alt Peter dexterity save, please.
Sure.
Oh, man, the congestion's kicking in, guys. It's going to get real good. I'm going to have some phlegm.
Phlegm?
All right. Phlegm. So, Rafael, look behind you, right? So, you guys get the sense that, something's about to happen. You look over your shoulder and you start seeing sort of little specks of rocks and dust flying by at a fairly high speed past your faces. So you're warned sort of ahead of time, and when you look, you're both able to duck, one sort of grapefruit-sized flying rock that seems like a meteoroid, right?
Jesus.
Flying right by your heads. But it catches at least two guys along the way and just knocks them clear out. One guy gets his head smashed right through, and then that cascades into if you're a Magic the Gathering fan, trample damage into the next guy, and he just gets wasted. He gets knocked down, and he's out for the count. You don't believe that his skull was meant to be that porous. So, but a few other rocks. You notice at the same time, there's a few other rocks that are just flying right past the ship, and they're hitting others. And they've caught a few gnolls, they've caught a few Githyanki, and you see the captain himself has to dodge, and he has like a very good, quick move to get out of the way of this one that goes for him, and he's out of the way, so it doesn't catch him. But you guys are starting to notice there are more of these little debris that keep coming up, and now you're starting to see that some substantial stones and rocks flying through space, and you're not entirely sure whether it's the speed of the ship or not, because your reference point is not as good, but chances are this is more, things are just flying, you're passing through something that seems to be some sort of rock storm, so to speak. So with that, we're going to switch over. Right, so now this is Light Pants Ralph and Peter, right?
Gotcha.
So right before you got here, you guys saw that basically the top of the ship, and you smashed right through this part of what you can only, for description's sake, you can only describe as the shell of this Nautilus-shaped thing, and you smash right through. But it doesn't hurt you. You don't seem to take. You do feel an impact, but it doesn't have the feeling that you would imagine if you were smashed right through something that was solid like this. And you go through a few levels. You actually hit a few floors as on your way down. And when you come to an end, you smash into the floor, and you're all sort of prone for all intents and purposes. But you're unhurt. You actually end up, and I would like some perception checks so you can see where the hell you guys are. All right. Very good. So, when you guys sort of come to, you're like, the shock of what just happened sort of wears off. You are in a room, and this is it's a smallish sort of room. You could say it's about 20 feet by, let's say, 12, right? So it's rectangular to a certain degree, but you see that there's a door, and there's a lot of things that I need to describe here now. Some more important than others, so let's start with the least important. You can only assume that this is some sort of captain's quarter. If this was a ship, you're in the captain's quarter, right? And you see on the table, you see like an astrolabe. You see certain navigation tools.
Isn't that butt gel?
No, that's astrolube, and that's also on the table. So,
well, isn't it Astroglide?
Astroglide, that's right. Yes, I mean, I wouldn't know anything about that stuff. I'm a good Christian.
Strictly V.
Well, just because you're a big fan of the V doesn't mean that game. Or that it doesn't need a little extra help sometime with that glide.
Just give it a shot one day, Ralph. It's cool. never turn back. So on that desk, you'll see, you see all the sort of navigation tools, and you see some really strange looking maps. And you notice they're a little weird, especially Ralph. You've seen a lot of maps, for battle and different things. Maybe not on a ship so much, but you would imagine there would be, islands and different things like that. But these maps seem to describe. It looks like there are spheres on there, and then there are sort of pathways through, it doesn't look like water or whatever, but that's sort of what you're looking at. There's some strange writing. It's common, but in a very stylized sort of, writing there. There's also a cage, and sort of off to the side of this, aside from, the captain's quarters have a bed. There's, a seat in front of the table. There are some other seats for when the captain has anybody in front of him, or if they're working over whatever plans you assume. But inside of this cage, I would like a nature check from the both, because this doesn't look like what you would imagine the normal. But let's see. Maybe it doesn't look like shit. I guess we're gonna find out. All right, 13 from Ralph. Wonderful. So, Peter, you're not entirely sure what you're looking at. It's humanoid, and what you can tell at least is that the skin has been peeled off in parts on purpose. And, there's definitely some mutilation that's gone on. Whatever this thing was, it was probably tortured. It is also no longer alive. You can tell that without too much investigation going on there. It's definitely dead and sort of shackled in there. But Ralph, what you think this is, and you're not entirely sure, but you just finished yesterday fighting something that had a similar structure to the face, and except, and you remember you when you cut the Grix's tentacles off and everything to sort of cook them up.
Yeah.
This humanoid sort of it reminds you of that. You think that there was something on its face that's been cut off. And what you see beyond
Fuck
it is just
here.
Yeah, it's just like maybe a beak-like thing beyond it. But it has also got a very large cranium. For what, you're not entirely sure what this is, but you might think you know what it is. But it's definitely dead. And if you, of course you guys know common, right?
Yeah, I'm so thoroughly upset that I didn't roll well, because I know exactly what it is.
Yep. And actually, Alt Peter kind of knows, because Alt Peter kind of had a hint from the last game. But so when you see that, you also see that on the cage there's sort of like some scribbled writing. What languages do you guys?
Common and Spanish.
Oh my god.
We are not doing the Spanish shit. You're gonna pick a fucking language that's in D&D.
Oh my god.
Or you're gonna unlearn common real fast with a blow to the head.
Fine, hold on. Let me get a random language generator, and I'll pick one.
Oh, God.
Didn't you say you knew Orin? Wasn't? Oh no.
That was the other one.
Yeah. Shit, Spanish.
What would be the is it what's the analog to medieval Spain in
well, they have with the humans, they actually have a lot, like Rashemi I think has its own language, so there's a lot of sub.
Yeah, because in
kind of like they're all analogs of different cultures on our world, and one of them is actually an analog of medieval Spain. I think it's Tether. So Tether.
Maybe, yeah. I won't allow Ralph to have Tetherian because he has no idea where even Tether is. If we asked him where it is.
Yeah, you would have been really proud of me, Peter. I was able to locate, without even seeing a map, the relation of where Rashomon was.
I
to
know
Waterdeep.
Abyssal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Abyssal, geez. All right. And so, what about you, Peter?
I
you
know.
get Thief Cannon.
Yeah, I know. I have a Thieves' Cant, Elvish, Rashomon, Druidic, and Sylvan.
Okay, so
You just all kinds
what-
of well versed, aren't you?
so what? You've picked up on Thieves' Cant because your brother was
A
sort
no
of
good
involved
lying
and he helped
thief.
you out with that, right? So
Yeah.
you kind of get the you can pick out some of these words here. It's mostly symbols and it's almost like a shorthand, but you're able to pick out that there is a form of Thieves' Cant going on in here, right? These are pirates, and you assume that there's some form of pirate speak that they've got. And when you look at the it's not a banner, but like somebody put up like a piece of let's say card. There's no card in D&D, but you get what I mean. Something of that sort of material, and they scribbled on it in whatever way, and so it says the only good mind flayer, and then there's an ellipsis, right? And so it's sort of almost like a tableau, like they presented you with this, or whoever's supposed to look on.
Yeah, I just, as I read it and I look, there is abject horror. Just
Yep,
completely.
What is it, Peter?
Oh my god.
Do you need me to hold your
Ralph.
hair while you throw up?
Yeah,
They're all of them.
I just like I'm like looking around like where the fuck are we?
And so also just so that you guys are not bereft of this information, that was one thing for sure. What you also notice are the one more important to you, Peter, maybe, but you also know the other person. There are two unconscious bodies that are around the table when you look on the other side of it. You didn't notice it at first, but you catch a glimpse of a foot sort of sticking out, and you notice one of those is John, and the other one is Krzysztof.
Damn.
Oh shit! I immediately run over to John.
All right, so you're not entirely sure what's going on there. He's completely unconscious, right? And at this time, when you go to make contact with John and Krzysztof, you hear a voice in your head, and it's familiar. It's you assume it's the voice of the person that sent you here, whose name was C. He said you called him C, right? And he says, "Whoa, I didn't see that before." So I got you guys a little bit more close than I got the other guys. I think my aim was a little better this time. I still can't find, where this thing is, but that's your brother, right? I'm guessing. So if you want, I could send them back, and I don't know if they're okay or not, but we'll see. And so he sort of waits.
Yeah, I like when I pick him up, I'm like searching his head almost like I'm looking for lice.
Yeah, so you notice that at least there's nothing stabbed him, nothing really hurt physically that you can tell. You don't see punctures, you don't see like.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure that he's got no hole in his head.
Yeah, and you do, if you check for a pulse, you see a faint pulse. So both of these guys are still alive. Something must have happened, and they were right next to the table, from what you can tell. So you're not sure what happened there. You were here and nothing has happened to you, but something must have happened to them when they entered this room.
Yeah, so
They are okay from what you can tell. They don't seem like they're dead, but you don't know if they're dying.
yeah, so since they're like just fucked up, I'm just like, yeah, take them now.
All right, you got it. And so the same holes that you guys came in, that you made in the ceiling of this place, you just hear like a thunk, and like he shoots them up, and they fly right through the hole, off into who knows what. But you can only assume that they're going back to the manor you came from. Um, but yeah, so that's sort of what you got there. And so C will say, yeah, I think it's in this room. Pretty sure it's in this room, because I can kind of feel it, but it's really faint. I'm not sure where it is, but it's got to be in here. I'm sure of it.
All right, I'm gonna start casting detect magic.
All right. So when you cast detect magic, where do you start? Right. So as a layout, you've got a few. It's just think of that room in sort of rectangular shape.
Well, since it's a rectangular shape, I'll go to like one end. Oh, he's stopping.
Okay. All right.
You can go ahead and finish.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go to one end because it's a 60-foot cone.
Okay. Yeah. So you can pretty much catch the
Yeah,
whole.
yeah. So if I just go over to like one end of the room of the rectangle, I could catch the entire room in the aura.
Okay. So when you let's say you go to you align yourself sort of to the door, what you assume is the main door that leads out to the deck,
Mhm.
and it seems like that's where these two came from. And the door itself is not ajar, but you get the feeling like there's some sort of really strange looking lock, and you get the feeling your brother probably was the one to pop that lock.
Mm-hmm.
That's a breakdancing reference, no? So
Mm-hmm.
when you cast detect magic on pretty much the whole room, you get a lot of different faint auras. You definitely get a sort of concentrated, if muffled, magic in the on where the table is. It's sort of like a desk, right? So it's just a large desk. You get some residual magic from the dead. What you assume is maybe a mind flayer, according to what it said.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't seem to be active or anything anymore. It's just maybe what used to be a part of this thing. And really, you don't find too much more in terms of magical essence, but definitely around the table, it's almost as if something's trying to hide that there is magic in the table.
So, is it almost like there's magic being cast on that to kind of cloak it?
Sort of. You get the feeling that it is a concerted effort to cloak the magic. Yes, you're not entirely sure, but it's definitely concentrated around the desk.
So it's like, so it's around the desk, like the target would be like the desk.
Somewhere around the desk, yeah. And if I'm assuming you're trying to concentrate just there.
Mm-hmm.
You notice there are sort of shelves on the desk, in the desk, right under it. The stuff on top doesn't seem to emanate so much. They're just tools and navigation tools, things like that. The maps themselves don't seem to be magic, as weird as they are. But you think maybe it's in one of the shelves.
All right, I'm gonna start rifling through the shelf.
Okay. So when you start, you pull let's say the top left, right? I don't know if you wanna there are actually 4 different shelves, right?
Okay.
And so when you pull the top left, you just see like a standard dagger in there. You think it's maybe an envelope opener or something like that. Doesn't seem very special at all, and you're not getting any sort of magical essence from that. And give me 1 second. Just have to determine.
All right. Well, since you're taking the second, we can end it right now, so he can start again.
Alrighty. 1 sec.